Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
I stood up for women. PM defends captain's picks in federal seats by Latika Burke. April 5, 2022, 8:38 p.m. Save login, register or subscribe to save articles for later. Share normal text size, larger text size, very large text size. Prime Minister Scott Morrison said he was standing up for the women in his party by imposing his hand-picked candidates in several key seats in a decision made just days before he was expected to call the federal election. Speaking on the ABC's 7.30 on Tuesday night, Mr. Morrison said Liberal Party factions were trying to take out women candidates, including Environment Minister Susan Ley, who has been re-endorsed to stand in the seat of Faro. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has defended intervening in pre-selections for several seats before the federal election. Credit, AAP. She was under threat from factions in the Liberal Party and I decided to stand up for her, he told host Lee Sales. I'm very serious about having great women in my ranks. Fiona Martin's another, he said, referring to the MP for Reid. The Prime Minister was standing up to things happening in the party to make sure that quality people who are doing a quality job should be able to go forward to the next election. I was not getting that outcome. I stood up for the women. He said that the candidates installed were more diverse and reflected the broader population. 50% of them are women, 50% are men, of those they came from Vietnamese, Indian, Chinese backgrounds, as well as Sri Lankan and Croatian, he said. He said he would have preferred the members to choose such a range of candidates themselves, but that time was running out, and insisted he never had any time for factions. However, critics say Mr. Morrison and his factional ally, Cabinet Minister Alex Hawke, deliberately left it until the eve of the election so they could stage an intervention and install their candidates, leaving no time for any challenges or backlash. The Prime Minister imposed the candidates along with the NSW Premier and State Liberal leader Dominic Perrottet and Christine McDevan, the Federal Party's first female president. The trio's intervention triggered an all-out war within the state division, with members denied a rank-and-file pre-selection. A court challenge launched by rebellious party member Matthew Kamanzulai failed on Tuesday. He is seeking a High Court challenge, but time is running out for a hearing to be held with expectations Mr. Morrison will visit the Governor-General within days. The brawl was behind the extraordinary attack launched last week by outgoing NSW Senator Concetta Fierravanti Wells, who was dumped to an unwinnable spot on the Liberal Party's Senate ticket in a pre-selection. She lashed out at Mr. Morrison, describing him as an autocrat and bully, and someone who was not fit to be Prime Minister. On Tuesday, NSW Liberal MP Catherine Cusack accused the Prime Minister of being a self-serving, ruthless bully. Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce was previously forced to apologise when he sent former Liberal staffer Brittany Higgins text messages in which he described Mr. Morrison as a hypocrite and a liar. Mr. Morrison was also ambushed by claims one of his cabinet ministers sent the former NSW Premier Gladys Berejiklian text saying the Prime Minister was a fraud and complete psycho. Mr. Morrison shrugged off the criticisms as coming from those with axes to grind, who were timing their revenge to harm his re-election prospects. When people have become frustrated in a political process, they've lashed out, he said. People have axes to grind in political parties. And they will express this, and particularly at a time when it is sought to do the most damage to the individual. Jacqueline Maley cuts through the noise of the federal election campaign with news, views and expert analysis. Sign up to our Australia Votes 2022 newsletter here. Thank you for reading the Herald. This article is complimentary. Register or log in now to read more articles and unlock extra benefits. No payment required. Read more. Continue with Google, continue with Apple, or email address continue by continuing. You agree to your personal information being collected under our privacy policy and accept our terms of use. Hide content.